Hello, everybody. Welcome to more Royal Rumble reviews. I'm Brett Mix, and if you like my content before we get going, you can like my video and hit subscribe if you think I know my stuff. I think I do. That's why I started a channel. And I won't be just doing these chronological pay-per-views in order. I'll also be reviewing live Raws and SmackDowns. So, again, hit subscribe if you're into that kind of thing, and I'll be definitely doing the job. So let's get into the 2010 Rumble from the Phillips Arena in Atlanta, Georgia. This is the second time the Rumble has come to Atlanta, Georgia. 8 years before this, Triple H eliminated Kurt Angle in the climax of the '02 Rumble, and that's the last time they were there. Who would win it this time? Would Triple H do it again? Well, we'll have to see. And let's just get to the undercard. I wrote a review for this at Rumble as I did the other ones, and I rewatched the Rumble and then I give a rating in between on here. So if this is your first time coming to watch Royal Rumble reviews, that's how I do it. That's my process. All right, so to start this pay-per-view off, we had an ECW title match between Christian and Ezekiel Jackson. Ezekiel Jackson had William Regal in his corner. Christian was the defending champion. He was the longest reigning ECW champion with a 6-month reign at the time, and he came out to a great ovation. Um, the King on commentary said it was his favorite pay-per-view of the year. I would be lying if I didn't say it was either mine either. I'm having a blast rewatching these Rumbles, by the way, so I suggest anyone else to do that if they're watching these reviews, because they're always fun to watch. A pretty good climax in this one. I remember a huge bulldozer to Christian, but Christian kicked out by Ezekiel Jackson. Christian went for the kill switch, but Ezekiel countered, and Christian flipped on a slapper. He slapped on a sleeper. Jackson, though, with his strength, flipped him up and battered him over the head from the corner. Christian, out of desperation, was able to flip over from that and hit the kill switch. So counter by counter by counter, and Christian ended up the winner at 11:59 by retaining the title. This match made both guys look strong, and I gave it 3 stars. So definitely a great opener. You don't see too many great singles opener in Rumble history outside '05 between Edge and HBK. Usually they're tag matches or they're one-on-one between two slower guys. But no, this year, 3-star match between Christian and Ezekiel Jackson. I think this is a really impressive win by Christian. I think he helped Ezekiel look powerful and strong, whereas Christian was like the Rey Mysterio, the resilient little guy in the match who came out on top. That's how it reminded me of it anyway, with less flips and dives. The Miz defended his U.S. title against MVP, and Miz got great heat coming into this match. MVP was over too, so we might have a good mid-card match here. That's what we got, basically. What happened is MVP was rolled up out of nowhere, and he lost to that roll-up as The Miz retained the U.S. title at 7:30. Miz kicked his hands off a shoulder block attempt, and that's how he got into the roll-up. MVP got the last word on the Miz, making him angry and after the match, MVP hit the playmaker to the Miz to a chorus of boos. I'll give this match 2 stars. So we got 3 stars and 2 stars so far going into the world or the WWE Championship, because there's a world and a WWE title back then. So for the WWE, and they switch shows all the time. SmackDown would have one, Raw would have the other. It got so confusing at times, especially when roster members would turn up on the other show for no explanation. It still happens to this day. Anyway, the match starts off with Orton as the clear face here, going out against Sheamus, and the fans want Orton to win. Orton and Sheamus work a good match, but it's Orton and Sheamus, and it felt like a TV match at times. It didn't really give you that pay-per-view feeling. In the end, at 12:24, Sheamus was victorious by DQ after Rhodes interfered on Orton. It was slow, but that doesn't mean it wasn't good. I liked the storytelling in the ring in this match. Orton working on Sheamus' abdomen. I just didn't like the pace. And like I say, I like slowing things down, a methodical pace, but it wasn't quite that in this match. However, it wasn't a bad match. It was actually pretty good. 2 stars and 3/4. Good from a overall perspective. I expect a lot from Randy and Sheamus. So if I say good and it's 2 stars, 3/4, 2.75 stars, it doesn't mean that that's a bad rating. It just means I expected a little bit more. And it's a Rumble pay per view event. So it's the second biggest show of the year. I always judge those things and I throw those in if I'm going to judge a Rumble as a whole, a pay per view. The matches on the pay per view as a whole. Next, we got Mickie James and Michelle McCool for the women's title. Wow, so this was just a 20-second match. The match started off with James faking the belly suit and rolling up Michelle to get the win. So that was a dud. I'm gonna be honest, I rewatched the Rumble from this pay-per-view. I didn't rewatch the undercard matches. I'm relying on my old review for the undercard, so I don't know what exactly that is about. But if that's what I wrote, that's what it was, and that's a dud. Let's move on. Undertaker versus Rey Mysterio. I want to look for this match somewhere. Uh, I know where to look, but I wanted to find time is what I wanted to say to rewatch this match because I remember it being quite good. The Undertaker and Rey Mysterio, it's in the ring together is definitely something I didn't want to miss. Um, it was just went 11 minutes, and the pacing was a little bit off. It was slow for a Rey Mysterio match, but come on, you're not going to expect the Undertaker to be Eddie Guerrero from Halloween Havoc '97. The Undertaker works a slower style, and his health was deteriorating at this time. Was Taker's because he had just gone all out in the past 5 to 10 years before this, or I'd say 5 to 7 years after he became the Dead Man again. He wrestled a pretty much full time schedule in these years following 2010, like '07, '08, '09. He was always there. So his body was breaking down, and Mysterio went with it. Uh, he caught Ray with a huge 11:07. He retained the title after getting 2 619s, but catching Ray on the West Coast Pop to hit a last ride. That was a great sequence of events. Um, good quality, good quality in parts. Like I said, I like the chemistry, and I want to rewatch it when I have the time. But I gave it 2 stars, 3/4. Seems a little bit low, but again, I rate the match based on my expectation level, where the bar is set. For Undertaker and Ray, I set it really high, especially being a world title match on pay per view. So the main event now is the 30-man Royal Rumble match from 2010. Dolph Ziggler and Evan Bourne started it out, and again, the crowd was quiet, really quiet when Evan Bourne and Dolph Ziggler started out. They both pointed to the WrestleMania sign. I thought that was kind of humorous, but I mean that's one of the old school ways of selling the Rumble that anybody could win at any time. But out at third was CM Punk, and this was his Rumble for the first 30% of it. He got pretty much a third of the Rumble to himself with the microphone, dominating the guys that came in. He didn't have to. He did get rid of Dolphin Bourne and JTG, but he didn't have to get the next two after him because the great Khali and Beth Phoenix came out. Khali was set to dominate. I believe he chops Punk after Punk was on the microphone talking about his straight edge business, saying he's going to be the first straight edge Rumble winner. Hey, Yokozuna never did anything wrong. What did he do to hurt you? Anyway, um, and you could say that for many other Rumble winners, but that's what he says on the mic. Anyways, Khali came in and chopped him, and then Khali had Beth Phoenix come running into the ring as she was the second lady to ever enter the Rumble match next to Chyna in '99 when Chyna was the 30th entrant. Beth Phoenix was sixth in this Rumble, and she was going to go out from Khali, but Khali dropped her on the apron, and Beth kissed Khali over the top ropes to the floor, and then went at it with CM Punk back on the inside. Zack Ryder came out, then Triple H came out, then Drew McIntyre came out. Triple H worked over McIntyre, and now the ring just started to fill up. We got Ted DiBiase, John Morrison, Kane, Cody Rhodes, MVP, Carlito, The Miz, Matt Hardy, Shawn Michaels, John Cena. And throughout those 10 guys, they, like I said, everybody picked corner A, then corner B, corner C, and corner D. 2 or 3 guys in each corner, trying to get each other over the top rope. Some pretty good spots in the middle, but I'll read the last two. I'll read the last 10 men to enter this 2010 Royal Rumble before I get to a couple other spots in the Rumble before I grade it. Cena and Michaels, like I say, were 18th and 19th. At 20th was Shelton Benjamin. Yoshitatsu was 21. The Big Show was 22. 23 was Mark Henry. 24 was Chris Masters. 25 was R-Truth. 26 was Jack Swagger. 27 Kofi Kingston. 28 Chris Jericho. We knew number 30 would be Batista, but who was number 29? To his surprise, Edge. I remember it not being a surprise online, but Edge was the kayfabe surprise entrant, and you kind of figured he was going to get the win. And when the Rumble did eventually clear out, it became obvious Edge was going to get the win, but still, they had a good climax with Cena and Edge and Batista as the final three. Edge ended up winning when he eliminated Cena as they went back and forth at 49 minutes and 24 seconds. Cena got up, Edge missed a spear, Cena kicked at Edge, and he sidestepped him and tossed him to the floor. Fans were happy with Edge's return. Fans were happy that Edge beat Cena, and fans were happy that Cena didn't win. So I rate this Rumble match 3.5 stars. I give this Rumble rating a 6.5 out of 10. And I think that's fair given the undercard. The show was fairly good and wasn't one of the best, wasn't nearly one of the worst. It's a passable Rumble, and that is how we're gonna look at it. So that is that for the 2010 Rumble. We'll see you at 2011 where there's 40 men in the Rumble this time around. So I can't wait to review that one. Hit like and subscribe if you like what you're watching. If you like my wrestling knowledge, it'd help me get my channel off the floor. I'll get better equipment as we go. Thank you for being patient with me, especially if you've made it all this way. And we'll see you on the next one.